Wayne, you look more happy today. What happened? I know. You look complete today.
It is true. I have a secret to tell you.
Oh, but you can share now because I have to leave earlier because I'm working.
Yeah, the first few days were really wonderful when Reiko went on her trip, and then and then it got very lonely. The house seemed very empty.
Yeah, I'm sure Rick has the same experience. Beginning was happy, and then later, oh, I miss Wayne. She was crying. Oh, Wayne, where are you? And it's nice to see you together. Me, I'm traveling, that's why I'm like this. I'm on a tour
Yeah,
every
it's
day.
certainly good to be together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Morning. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome back, Reiko-san.
Yeah, welcome back. Wow.
Long time. All right. It's Friday, the 23rd of June 2023. 23. All right. Let's begin with a greeting. Chonji Chambamanem Ke Kyungbe. Oh. Kajang Mengse. Emily.
Good morning. Please join me in the pledge. 가정 맹세 1. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본향 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조 이상인 지상 천국과 천상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 중심, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 4대 신정권과 3대 왕권과 황족권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조 이상인 천주 대가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 매 주체적 천상 세계와 대상적 지상 세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천연을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정 문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 천일국 시대를 맞이하여 절대 신앙, 절대 사랑, 절대 복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루온 지상 천국과 천상 천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Hanaida. Thank you, Emily. I would like to call upon Marja Davis. If you could lead us in prayer this morning, please.
Our dear Heavenly Father, our dear Heavenly Parent, we are so very grateful to be alive at this time with our two parents and with true mother here on earth. We are so deeply grateful that you have guided each and every one of our lives here this morning and guided us to be on this path to know our true parents. And we are so we really want to ask you at this time especially to guide us to True Mother has given us so much new direction and new content, and we truly want to understand and come to embody it and want to be guided by your spirit to do the right thing before you and to really restore this world to you, Heavenly Parent, to the ideal creation that you envision for all humanity and for all of us, Heavenly Parent. So please guide our time at this time, this morning, and this day, and this week, Heavenly Parent. Guide our original mind, our heart, to really understand how we can be vessels for your will, for your spirit. And please bless and guide our leaders in our movement to be authentic and alive in their spirit, to be able to guide all the congregation and all our members. We pray and ask for your spiritual presence and your guidance for all of us, in the name of all of us here gathered this morning, and in the name of Joseph and Maria Davis's blessed central family. Jew.
Adieu. Thank you. Beautiful prayer. All right, let's go and share some gratitudes with each other. Welcome back, everyone.
Oh, I think so.
Welcome, Mr. Harding.
Good morning.
Nice to see you. Thank you for showing us your tonsils.
Yeah, Elena, yeah.
Still there. All right, Ray McCready.
All right. Thank you, Pastor and First Lady Thompson. Yeah, I had to give consternation to my wife that I volunteered, but I was with, we were with, Masako P. She has a long last name. I think it's Cambodian or Laos. And then Elena L. And they were just talking about, especially Elena, but all of us were talking about how good it is to be grateful. And Elena talked about counting your blessings and how it's kind of simple in a sense, but it's very important, because if you don't, then you tend to think of what you don't have or what you wanted but didn't happen. So it's better to start with what I do have and count your blessings and get yourself lined up. And I'm so grateful. I just noticed that Semper Fi Tribe is back. All right. So just counting the gratitudes, counting the blessings. That's what it's about. Thanks.
All right. Count those blessings. Thank you, Ray. How about Shirley?
Yes, good morning, Pastor, First Lady, everyone. I'm so grateful to be safe and for the residents of Highlands Ranch, Colorado, which is 20 miles south of Denver. They had a tornado yesterday.
Oh,
And tornadoes they don't hit Colorado. We have high winds and different problems with weather, but it did come down. It was 6 miles long and a quarter of a mile wide. And because we've had so much rain these last couple months, the trees were saturated and many trees were uprooted and hitting houses and laying along the highways and the streets. And my son was on a construction site right there in Highlands Ranch. And I was texting him and he knew the storm was coming, but I kept texting him and telling him the hail size went from egg size to baseball size, and kept telling him, you know, what the conditions were. And he said, yeah, Mom, I'm going to get out of the site and pull over. And I was hoping he could go to someone's basement. And then the news came that the tornadoes had touched down. He was right in that area. So he pulled his truck over with the trailer and was underneath an awning. And the winds were tremendous. The hail was real bad. And he was sending me pictures, excuse me. And after the storm passed, he found out from another buddy who took shelter in someone's basement that he was 200 yards away from the impact of that tornado. 200 yards. And he was fine, but he could hear the winds and see the wind shifting from one direction to the next. He said it was so wild. He is fine. And no one in Highlands Ranch was hurt. And everyone is amazed because, yeah, it was really vicious. And but he's fine, and so are the residents. They're pretty much in shock. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. Glad your son's okay. Living in Colorado, huh? California, we only have earthquakes to worry about.
rain and
Huh?
fire.
On fire, yeah. All right, thank you, Shirley. Who else is grateful? Anybody else? We're not getting out of here until one more gratitude comes through.
Harding
I think-
is grateful. All right, completely grateful. Grateful to be alive. Grateful to be joining in. Yeah, wow, 55 people. That's incredible. It's amazing to be a part of this this family. Yeah, I'm in the Honolulu community, and we have about 10, 12 people each morning. So to be part of this huge, massive tribe you got going on here, it's very exciting. It's very colorful. Look at all you people. Incredible. Wave to yourselves. This is like, get a little movement going there. Wow. Oh my goodness. Look at that give and take. Powerful. Okay, I'm good. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. What time is it in Honolulu?
03, sir. Boom. Get some.
3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh.
You must have your coffee this morning. Not yet? It's all prayer. All right.
Wow.
Okay, thank you. Nice to see you this morning, Justin. Okay, nice to see everybody. Let's go to our reading today.
Good morning. Please join us in reading the Mother of Peace. Chapter 3, the Marriage Supper of the Lamb, page 80 to 86. For the salvation of all humankind and realization of a world of peace, I determined myself and declared before Father Moon that I would rise to the position of the true parent. I accepted Father Moon as the only begotten Son for the accomplishment of our Heavenly Parent's will. It was God's call to me to become the heavenly bride and the mother of the universe. I knew that my path would be unimaginably difficult, yet I pledged I would live for God and absolutely fulfill my mission to save the world. I pledged before God and Father Moon, no matter how difficult the path may be, I will complete God's providence of restoration during my lifetime. And then I pledged one more time, I will do whatever it takes to fulfill our Heavenly Parents' will. I have defined and lived my life with that commitment. The course of human events is often unpredictable. Church members were so astonished when the news spread that Father Moon had chosen Hak Ja Han, that 17-year-old nursing student, to be his bride. Some people thought it was a false rumor. Some were taken aback. Some rejoiced, others were jealous. I remembered Father Moon's words from 4 years before. You will need to make sacrifices in the future. And I knew that each day was going to be a learning experience concerning what that meant. When my maternal grandmother's ancestor, Jo Han Moon, showed sincere loyalty and devotion to his country, he received the revelation, I will send to your lineage the princess of God. In return for my ancestor's devotion, his sacrifice with no desire for recognition, God chose our family to exemplify the tradition of loyalty and filial piety. My mother was born to my grandmother, who had deep filial piety, and I was born to my mother. I trace God's will to send the world his only begotten daughter, which has borne fruit through me, back to my ancestor Jo Han Moon. To fulfill my mission as God's only begotten daughter, I have a firm belief and unflinching will for the sake of every nation, every religion, every race. Going beyond all fallen world boundaries, I am called to reconcile nations and races with benevolence and love. I am called to be like the ocean that accepts and absorbs the waters of all rivers, big and small alike. Embodying our God, who is our Heavenly Mother as well as Heavenly Father, I am called to embrace all who are lost and who have no one to receive them with the heart of a parent. I set these things in my flesh and blood, in my beating heart, and have not for 1 second forgotten that the will that God entrusted to me. 60 years have passed since our holy wedding, and my husband is now not with us physically. More than ever, no matter what my age or physical condition may be, my beating heart drives me forward on the path to become the mother of the universe and the mother of peace, one in mind, one in body, one in heart, and one in harmony with the one who guides us, who guides the providence. Our holy wedding ceremony. Jesus was born to humankind 2,000 years ago. God intended that Jesus find his bride and that they would stand in the position of Adam and Eve, who were lost at the very beginning of human history. Together, Jesus and his bride were to have grown to attain the position of true parents, providing living examples of a true husband and wife, parents, and a family. However, God's hope for Jesus and Israel was not realized. The Lord went a secondary course, dying for us on the cross. We cannot imagine how devastated he must have been. When Jesus returns, his priority is to find the bride with whom he will create a true family, society, nation, and world. Through the true parents, the sorrows of heaven and earth can be alleviated, and the victorious foundation for God's ideal world can be laid.
In this providence, the prophesied marriage supper of the Lamb, the day of our holy wedding, was the turning point, the day when God won his victory and recovered his lost glory. Furthermore, this was a day of joy for humankind as it inaugurated a new history in which all can live together, not only with their true father, but also with their true mother. At the age of 15, Sun Myung Moon received his mission from Jesus Christ on Mount Myeodu. It was a mission that would bring him severe hardship. It led him to study in Japan and to teach God's word in North Korea after Korea's independence, where he would face life-threatening hardships and unspeakable suffering. Communist Party officials and police cruelly tortured him to the brink of death. Tossed out as a lifeless body, he revived and continued his mission, only to be arrested once again and sent to a forced labor camp near the city of Hungnam. It was only the arrival of UN troops that saved him from execution there. With 2 of his followers, he headed south to begin his ministry again. Amid the clash of communist soldiers and UN troops, they were among the last to cross the frozen Incheon River into South Korea, and from there they walked hundreds of kilometers to the southern part of the peninsula. After planting his church in Busan, he settled in Seoul. Yet his trials continued, and once again he was imprisoned, this time by the South Korean government. This course of hardships, during which time he relentlessly focused on teaching many new members about God and the mission of the Messiah, was the course he had to pass through to meet the only begotten daughter prepared by God and to hold the marriage supper of the Lamb. Members of the early Unification Church endured bitter ordeals together with Father Moon. As the year 1960 approached, they were filled with indescribable hope. Father Moon was turning 40, and he had prophesied that this would be the year of the holy wedding of God's first son and daughter, the only begotten son and only begotten daughter. And that promise was fulfilled. At the Chompadong Church at 4 o'clock in the morning on March 27, 1960, the first day of the 3rd lunar month, when spring was in full bloom, Father Moon and I held our historic engagement ceremony. We had invited 40 men and 40 women to witness the ceremony, but members wishing to see us had come in great numbers, and the small church was packed to overflowing. The engagement ceremony, held in 2 parts, was conducted in a holy atmosphere. It concluded with Father Moon's benediction, reporting the profound meaning of the ceremony to heaven and earth. The 6,000-year history of humankind, he prayed, was the anguished course necessary to receive the true parents. That Jesus could not become the true parent was the sorrow of all people, but the day of our engagement ceremony was the blessed day that finally relieved that sorrow. 15 days after the engagement ceremony at 10 o'clock a.m. on April 11, 1960, the 16th day of the 3rd month by the lunar calendar, we conducted the holy wedding. 700 or so members chosen from our churches across Korea gathered at Chompadong Church to attend the splendid event, long awaited by our Heavenly Parent. Because even more members flocked to attend the holy wedding than the engagement ceremony, the church was overflowing, and those who could not enter the building filled the alleyway beside it. The atmosphere was nonetheless solemn and reverent. The small chapel of the church was decorated beautifully and meaningfully for the occasion. The walls and floor were covered with white cloth, and a platform was set up to the left of the door. Dressed in a long white skirt and top, with a long veil covering my head, I walked down the stairs from the 2nd floor, arm in arm with the bridegroom, as members sang a holy song, Song of the Banquet. All in attendance warmly welcomed us, and the holy wedding ceremony thus commenced. The first ceremony of the holy wedding was held in Western-style clothing, and the second ceremony was held in traditional Korean-style clothing, complete with robes and headdresses.
Mhm. All right. Beautiful reading. Thank you. Now we're getting Mother's viewpoint of what was taking place. absolute commitment. All right, thank you very much. Let's go to our breakout groups and share what we heard today.
Reverend Thompson, there's a testimony today.
There's a testimony. I didn't know that. Okay, who's the testimony?
Masataka.
Masataka. All right. All right, Masataka, go for it. Masataka.
It's a video. I'll share the video.
Okay.
Hello, brothers and sisters. Good morning. This is Masa, and I just wanted to report about living testimony Chambo, witnessing with my mom here in the mountains. First of all, I want to just describe my past year being up here, and I realized, a lot of people are asking, why did I move up here? How do you survive in nature? But I look back, and I'm asking myself, how did I survive down there? And so I really am grateful to be here in nature and really serving the community here. And I've been connecting with Christian community here and also veterans. Every time I connect with them, I saw a beautiful couple, beautiful people. And I realized that one thing that they're missing is true parents. And one thing that they're missing is the holy wine and really connecting them to true parents. So when my mom decided to come to them, I felt my desire is being fulfilled. But actually, I connected that with God's desire. God also wants these couples to be blessed and to be connected, for them to have heavenly fortune and for the community to have heavenly fortune. So I'm also juggling a lot of tasks too with the camp nearby, where many members have joined back in the 70s, and with many tasks during my mom's stay here, it was challenging but ultimately rewarding to serve in so many ways in the Providence. I made breakfast with my mom and we ate together. We got to know each other again because I didn't spend so much time with my mom when I was younger. I felt like I wasn't always the best child, so I wanted to just give back to my mom and spend time with her. It was Mother's Day when she was here, and then her birthday came up, and then we also enjoyed Memorial Day together. I gave a talk here at the Woodland Church in San Francisco. Before my mom and I went out to do HTM, my mom and I had a prayer before. My mom is really into the books. What I mean is she's really to the standard of what HQ says, and everything that we have to mention Father, Mother, Moon, and also Family Federation and everything. And to myself, how will they accept it? How will they understand it if they hear that name, Father, Mother, Moon, if they hear Family Federation, if they hear these things? And within my mind and within my experiences, I felt a lot of PTSD, I guess some would say, about mentioning Father, Mother, Moon and then looking up online about who they are. So I was kind of set back. I felt many times all we need to do is go spirit, juice. That's it. As many members who fulfilled 430, let's do it. Let's just go out there because that's all I need is just, the juice, and they'll be connected. But, we worked as a good team. We did the prayers before, and also I had this energy and this uplifting spirit, just to go out and have a conversation with them, because the first thing I wanted to give them was a good spirit and a good vibe and just the value of agreement and marriage and God and family. But when it came to mentioning Father, Mother, Moon, I felt kind of this feeling in my gut, like I don't know how to share this. I don't want to have rejection, But my mom taught me so much, she didn't want to waver and go in another way, but really the way and the guidelines. So, after each approach, we met, an elder couple and then the veteran too, and I had some common bases with that. They heard the name Father, Mother, Moon from my mom. They're okay with it, and they're open about it, and they're like, wow, this is cool. And so they ended up taking, the holy juice, the holy water, and 4 steps all the way to the indemnity stick, and this is out in public, out in the park. And before that happened, I said, okay, this is our next step. It's called the love tap. because a lot of people may not comprehend what it is. And I also felt this insecurity within my gut and my heart, like, should we do this in the public park? But my mom was like, no, we're going to do this, you know. And she's, you know, again, I learned a lot from my mom, General Janice, we call her actually in this tribe. And so I like to mention the highlights of the HTM with my mom. You know, one couple we met at a restaurant. It was while I was talking to Sergeant Harding over the phone, and I mentioned that I'm doing HTM with my mom. And after the call, a couple naturally came to us, and my mom invited them to sit down. And when we went to their house, and after they invited us, you know, it was the last part, you know, the indemnity stick. And when my mom pulled out it from her bag, the wife was saying, you know, honey, we're gonna need a bigger stick. That was really a laughing moment. We all laughed. Another time, my mom and I, we met a nice couple. With their introduction and had a great conversation. And when my mom mentioned Reverend Moon, the wife stopped and she squinted her eyes and she asked, "You mean Reverend Sung Myung Moon?" And it was at this point where I was like, oh no, she's gonna be negative and we're done for, this is it. But she replied, you know, my son had a broken arm, and through a grandmaster that does Qigong, you know, he taught my son and gave him good chi energy and advice. This grandmaster also knew Reverend Moon, and if it wasn't for this grandmaster and Reverend Moon, then my son's arm would never have gotten better. And so they respected Reverend Moon. And so I felt that they were prepared people and that they did all the steps all the way, you know, to the indemnity sticks too. You know, this widened my perspective. People have open minds, and people have heard Father Mother Moon, and people are open about this and open about what they've done, and it's not all negative. And this really, as I'm doing this, it's actually relaxing me and also healing my past, you know, concepts or even fears of mentioning Father Mother Moon. This is my personal fear, but this has really widened my gap, and now I find myself more and more today really sticking up for who they are. We met one young couple near the lake, and they took the holy wine and did the indemnity stick. You know, without us organizing it too, they ended up hugging for a long time, and they were crying with tears, you know, of joy, and they really felt blessed. You know, they really felt like it was a restart for their relationship and also for their marriage. We gave them a certificate, and they were even very interested in doing the 40-day, you know, separation and 3-day ceremony. You know, I want to share this couple for the last example. You know, it was very important because he's a World War II veteran, and I interviewed him, you know, back in 2020 during the pandemic. He was part of the Hyojung event we had, Hyojung conference, and it was always in the back of my mind to go and reach out to him. You know, he was 93 years old at the time, and now he's 96. And one day I had a premonition with my mom here that I have to go visit him. And it was after my mom and I were at Past House. We drove all the way to Long Beach. It gets me every time that this is an American who served during World War II, who saw with his own eyes the Hiroshima bombing. As an American Navy veteran who experienced that moment and lives to this day and serves veterans, and the one thing that was on my heart was to bless him. My mom led, and they did all the steps, actually, all the way to the indemnity stick. You know, I felt, how can we educate them? They've been married for 74 years. That's how old my mom is. So I learned this through HTM. You know, it's witnessing, it's sharing the grace of true parents to others. You know, the fears, the concepts, they go away. You know, when you're in the moment, when you do conditions, you know, going with the faith of a mustard seed and uniting with your partner, in this case, it was my mom. You know, our relationship deepened, and I learned what HTM is. You know, I felt, man, there was so much more we could have done in that moment and follow up, but, you know, if not now, we don't do something, then who's gonna do it? You know, if we don't do it now on this wave, you know, what did God want us to experience after blessing them? And I was really grateful, like, even those small steps that we did to reach out and pray and for them to have the juice, I felt that was a victory. You know, my mom is 74 years old, I'm almost 35, we both felt young. And the only limitation that I had was saying no, you know, or not even giving it a try to go out and witness or to go out and mention Father Mother Moon. You know, so please go out, pray to meet the prepared people. This is the key. People are prepared, we just have to connect the dots. You know, go out even to those you knew from before. You never know the concept that they have, you never know. And please, you know, have this heart to go out with the essence of true parents and to bless people. And I've always told myself, you know, we're not here to have the couples or the people we meet join something. We're actually giving them the blessing. We're giving them something. It's not a recruitment, right? It's not like the army. We're giving them the blessing so that they can have a blessed life, so that naturally when they understand and when they have the time prepared, then they can understand and then they can come read and understand the principle in that. And so I knew deeply within my heart, you know, my mom is a representation of True Mother. As all of the women in our movement who are blessed is a channel and a representation. When we serve them, we're also serving True Mother. And I deeply felt that. This was such a profound experience, not only getting to know my mother, but also serving True Mother as we're going out and blessing people. So understanding the essence of True Mother, to me, I felt a piece of that serving my mother and feeding her, driving her, and planting these things. You know, we go out, we share, plant the seeds. You know, the harvest is plenty, the laborers are few. So I just want to end with that. Thank you so much for listening. God bless you guys.
Mm.
Wow, we're gonna need a bigger stick.
I do.
That's for fun.
General Janice,
Wow, congratulations. Good job. Good job.
you learned well, Masataka, from General Janice.
Mm.
Very nice. Thank you very much. A lot of work went into that video, I know.
Mm.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to our breakout groups and share our learning. All right. Masataka's testimony took up most of all of our time. Made an impression.
Yeah.
General Janice.
Yeah.
Oma 보고 싶어요. Oma.
All right.
Wow.
Who'd like to share this morning?
Oh.
Denise, Dr. Denise.
Denise is perfect. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Well, as we were reading about the holy engagement ceremony, I just felt such a powerful excitement in my heart. And I wondered about those who had the royal privilege of being there, you know, and I would love to know their testimonies. And, you know, what a moment, what a moment. And then when we read about the marriage supper of the Lamb, the holy wedding, you know, I just felt very strongly how excited God must have been, regardless of the circumstances. Like, who cares? It's happening. That was my very excited feelings this morning. And then to top that, fast forward, and Masataka is given this beautiful testimony. I mean, I'm so happy with the work that everyone is doing, and with what Masa is demonstrating here to us and sharing with us. And I just feel an overwhelming sense of gratitude for that. You know, I work with veterans, and many of them have gone through a lot. Many of them, you know, they reflect on their marriages, or many of them are not married. And I want to tell them about it. And unfortunately, my job doesn't allow me to proselytize, so I can't do much. But I just wanted to share this little brief testimony about a guy who was severely suffering from schizophrenia. And jokingly, I said to him, I said, you know, I should give you the marriage blessing. And he said, what's that? For a long time, he would ask me, Denise, when are you giving me the marriage blessing? Now, I'm not allowed to go any further with it, but especially since he was a vulnerable patient in the sense of having a mental illness, and I am the expert. So I couldn't go further. So to me, I feel very happy when we have members like Masa doing this work, reaching out to veterans. He's a veteran himself. And it's just, I just hope more people can do that, because many veterans are, they want something higher. They want something more significant, and we have it. So that's my sharing. And today's my daughter's 17th birthday. So all this excitement is great for me. Sorry I took so long. Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Too much excitement for one day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah. Masataka, keep up the good work. And the Harding couple, 3 o'clock in the morning. Keep up the good work. Okay. Thank you. Anybody else like to share this morning?
Hardingwood, it's just very nice to be together with brothers and sisters in the West Coast. And I'm very, you know, yeah, like I said in my breakout, if I was God, and I'm not, trust me on that one, the only place in the universe that I'd want to be is right there with mother and son going out on the street sharing the blessing. It's so transforming. Like, this Chumbo mission, it's not about the purple robes, it's not about a number, it's about transforming myself. And I feel transformed today just by seeing that testimony and hearing Mother's words every day. Damien said, you know, essence of Jesus, essence of True Mother. Well, we just witnessed the essence of Jesus and True Mother, the holy wedding and testimony, and a 96-year-old World War II veteran. Oof, man, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go bury myself in the sand after this. Thank you very much.
Don't bury yourself in the sand. Well, in Hawaii you could do it. It'd be nice in Hawaii. All right,
Yeah.
thank you, Justin. General Janice.
Thank you. I'm really grateful for Masataka's hard work and in that he invested a whole lot in her taking all the pictures and everything. And a lot of times he'd start the conversation with people and then I'd go ahead and explain about the different procedures and so on. But I was just really grateful for his help and support. So glad for that. And it's helped me in my witnessing at home and other places. Yeah, just wanted to share that one.
All right, beautiful.
Yeah, amazing.
Proud mom.
Yeah.
All right. Wayne-san, or Reiko-san.
I just want to say thank you and nice to be home. Over 50 days, I spent the time in Korea and Japan. I had a chance to meet Dr. and Mrs. Young in Korea and Dr. Cho, Mrs. Cho from my Happy Health doctor. And of course, I had a chance to see my spiritual parents' daughter who lives in Cheongbyeong nearby. I had to spend a good time with their children and some experience as like a grandma type of. And then, and then I moved to Japan and I met my spiritual mother and their sons. Of course, I met with Jenny together, combined together to greet my family for my sister-in-law's burial ceremony. And I also went to Japanese headquarters and heard all the new news changing. I met Reverend Sudo, Reverend Sano, and I heard all news changing activity in Japan. And also I met former president of Tokuno, my spiritual daughter's husband's spiritual father. So we are like spiritual relative. And I had a chance to see Kanazawa Church and Sapporo Church and visit my hometown and everywhere my old friends. It was just a spiritual journey, yet I missed California. I missed morning devotion. I missed all brothers and sisters here. I really felt that this is my home and I have to move on to a new time. Like Dr. Young said, this is time not by giving lecture to testify to parents, but to become a real personal principle without saying the words, to show the love and serve, and so that they can want to, they want to join the movement, they want to learn principle. This is the essence that I really felt that this morning devotion helped me so much to really to be who I am. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you, Pastor Mrs. Thompson.
Hi, welcome.
Glad to be home.
Welcome back.
Husband become more like healthy. Now he can eat food.
Feed that boy.
Please.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. We got Shirley.
Yes, Masa and Janice, Masa especially, thank you for understanding, realizing that, and saying that your mom is a representative of true mother. Thank you.
Nice. Yes, indeed. Massa, recognizing mom. All right, and finally, Yunji.
Thank you. It was really inspiring hearing True Mother's words, and what's really, she doesn't say a lot, like when you think of in comparison to True Father, like she says very few words, but then feels like there's so much to unpack, so much meaning behind it. But I just thought what was really stood out was she's 17 years old and she's receiving matching and blessing to True Father, who is 40. But you don't hear any hesitance or complaint or questioning or doubt from her. I can imagine, as a 17-year-old girl, I would be panicking, like, was this what you want me to do, Heavenly Parent? But you don't hear that from her. She accepts it with absolute faith, and it's really inspiring. That thinking, how can we raise our young generation, our young daughters, to have that kind of maturity and faith by the time they are 17? I just wanted to say that I think True Mother is really exceptional, and I think was that Mrs. Caroline Betancourt's mentioned it in a previous breakout group, that our world, we've never seen what a true woman is. We had seen it with true man, true Adam with Jesus, and then with True Father, but the world had never seen a true Eve or true woman. So this is all kind of new for us, and I thought it would be good to think about that. Thank you.
Yeah. Mother had absolute determination. She said, I will do whatever it takes to fulfill our Heavenly Parent's will. I have defined and lived my life with that commitment.
Yeah, amazing.
Amazing. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Yanji. All right. I would like to call upon Justin Harding. If you could close us in prayer, please.
Heavenly Father, Heavenly Mother, Heavenly Parents, true parents, we're so grateful to gather together as your adopted sons and daughters. The true mother's heart, true father's heart, your heart, of pulling us out of our situations. And after 2.5 years of investment of Moxim Young and Damien Dunkley, gathering everyone in the Chuncheon and just saying, hey, go pray. Even here in Honolulu, I asked Pastor Nakama, hey, I'm going to go do this, that. What do you think? He said, go pray in the Chuncheon and see what God tells you. And so, this is an amazing time, an amazing era to be alive in. I pray that every blessed central family here, first, second, third, or some portion of that generation, that we can continue this transformation of the United States of America, and that this elder son nation can rise up and defend Japan and bring the unification of Korea. We long for that, Father and Mother. Bring that nation into oneness as you intended from the very beginning. So much preparation and blood and tears has gone into that. With that understanding, let us go out with a smile on our faces and meet people. Although we can't reveal our deep pain and deep heart because they won't understand it right from the get-go. We just need to go out and serve. Yeah, so guide us today in whatever activities we are to transmute our pain, transmute Mother's pain into joy and happiness and blessing to other people. Thank you so much for allowing us to gather together this morning. And we offer this prayer sincerely, representing all of our ancestors, representing this nation of America, creating this Jeonsung together for the liberation of Korea, the defense of Japan, and the blessing to come to this nation again in the Harding Central West family name, we report and pray. Aju.
Aju. Thank you, Harding. Thank you, Mrs. Harding, for being here at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, your husband.
All right. Great day is going to happen today. Just let God guide you. And we'll see you back here tomorrow. God bless you.
Yes. Goodbye.
Thank
See
you.
you.
Bless
See you
everyone.
all.
Bye, everyone. Bye,
Goodbye.
Justin.
Bye.
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 So much.
Bye, Janet and Masa.